I just passed $25,000 in revenue as a beginner on Etsy. So in this video, I'm sharing some strategies to help you do the same. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Shay. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, I talk about all things Etsy. I started a shop at the beginning of this year, and my goal is to grow it to a six-figure business by the end of the year. So on this channel, I share everything I'm learning and I share my sales and my progress towards that goal. So please check out my other videos if you haven't already, because I do share a lot of really valuable strategies that have helped me as a beginner start getting traction in my shop. And by the way, I am selling digital products, so most of my advice is geared towards that space, but if you're selling print on demand, a lot of this stuff will apply to you as well. So I was super excited to pass the $25,000 in revenue mark on Etsy, especially since this entire form of income didn't exist before this year. It's just really cool to be able to build something and see its progress. And I love making videos like this. The last video I made like this was when I surpassed the $5,000 in revenue mark. And holy cow, I have learned so much since then. So in this video, I'm gonna share 3 things that I've learned that are kind of more recent things that I've learned as I've gotten more experience on Etsy. So even if you are just starting out on Etsy today, you can use these strategies and, kind of learn from my mistakes and hopefully skip some of the growing pains that I went through so that you can just hit the ground running and start seeing success in your Etsy shop. So the first thing I want to talk about that I've learned is that the bigger the product and the bigger the sales price, the better. Now, in the past, I've talked about increasing average sales price, which is a very valid strategy, but it's only been recently where I've started to see some additional impacts from having larger products. So in the digital product space, having a larger product could mean a product with a lot of pages, or it could mean a large bundle. It could be a larger spreadsheet that has multiple tabs, or a more complex product like a Notion template. And one thing I have noticed in my shop is that my best sellers are generally these larger bundles. And I think there's a variety of reasons why. One is that my return on ad spend for these products is quite good, because it makes so much more sense to me to spend ad money on a higher priced product, and you usually can just get more for your ad spend. But another thing I've noticed for a while is it seems like, at least in my experience, customers are more likely to buy these larger bundles. And it's probably because they appear to be more valuable. Say you have a single product like a habit tracker, and you also have a meal planner, and you also have a cleaning checklist. Well, you could sell all of those individually, and I do think you should, especially if you're listing consistently and listing every day. You definitely want a lot of listings out there. But if you combine and bundle all of those together and charge a little bit more than you would for the individual items, it seems that customers are so much more likely to buy that and spend more money with you because it looks like it's more valuable because there's more items. Another reason why bigger is better when it comes to Etsy is it also makes the barrier to entry much higher for that product and makes your competition smaller. So a great example of this is Notion templates, which are quite difficult to make. And same thing goes for spreadsheets. You do have to have particular skills in order to make these. And because of that, the competition generally is lower. And so if you're able to make larger products like that, you're going to have an easier time selling them. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to talk about that I've learned recently is that Etsy seems to reward uniqueness, and it does reward products that are first to market in a particular niche. So when I look at my best sellers that are selling every single day, most of the time those products are unique products. I was the first one to either completely make that product or the first one to approach that product in a certain way. And even though there are so many copycats on Etsy, especially in the digital product space, but yet Etsy does reward, and the algorithm rewards when you are one of the first people to do that, and you can start gaining traction before a bunch of the competition hops on. So one way to do this, and I will link the video where I talk about this, is to be very conscious of trends and try to be one of the first people to apply a certain trend to your niche. Doing that in combination with trying to approach this niche in a different way, adding products that no one else is selling yet in this niche, I think has really helped my shop and helped my success on Etsy. You want to try to be as unique as possible and to be the first person selling a particular item rather than just copying what everyone else is doing, because that will not lead to success on Etsy. Okay, now the third thing, and this is a constant struggle for small businesses and large, massive corporations as well, and it's try to figure out why something is selling or why it is not selling. This is a really difficult question to answer, but for us on Etsy, I want this question to kind of be in the back of your mind, especially as your shop grows and you're analyzing data. Try to figure out why something is selling. Is it the particular look and aesthetic of the product? Is it the actual features of the product? Is it because it's a particular type of bundle, or it's, trendy in some way? Or is there a particular way that you're marketing that product that has helped it? Really be thinking about this, because if you can understand why a product is selling, then it's so much easier to replicate it and continue to see success on other products. And one way I've tried to answer this question is to really dig into the data. And Erank has a bunch of features that go beyond just simple SEO research, and there's a lot of data that Erank can provide about your listings. So I want to hop over to Erank and show you some of those and how it helps me to figure out why my products are selling. So I'm over in my Erank account, and I'm going to go to the listings tab, and there are a lot of features here that are super useful. This listing helper, let me actually go to it real quick. This is a new AI feature, and it can help you generate descriptions. So let me just show an example. You just type in a description of your product, and then it comes up with title ideas, description ideas, and it'll give you a bunch of tag ideas, which is super helpful. I actually use this right now for Pinterest, so I just use these descriptions for my pins description. So yeah, great feature to help you save a lot of time. The feature that I actually want to show is active listings. Okay, so the active listings page is going to show you all of your listings, and it has a lot of information here. What I am particularly interested in is this visibility score. So that basically just shows how easily your product is showing up in search results. And this is a fascinating metric because it's slightly different than just how well your product is selling. Instead, it's like, okay, is your product actually showing up in search results? And you can filter. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle. I like to toggle lowest to highest. You can see some of my products have like ridiculously low visibility, which is fascinating. And so what I like to do is go through these products with a low visibility score, see if there's any patterns, any reason why they just are not showing up. Sometimes it's keywords issue. Sometimes it's just aesthetically they just don't look as good. Maybe it's a cheaper kind of lower value product. Maybe the mock-up is just not as good. So then from here I can like sort of troubleshoot that and then make changes to the listing and see if that improves the visibility or improves the sales. So on the flip side, you can sort by the highest visibility items, and these are most likely going to be your best sellers. So you can kind of see if there's any patterns here as to why these products are selling well. Another reason this feature is so powerful is there's actually this track changes button. And in fact, on the listing tab, if you go to changes, you can see that as well. But what this does is once you start tracking changes on a listing, Erank is automatically going to take snapshots in time of that listing. So what I like to do with this is you start tracking changes, and then if you're going to edit the SEO, you change the title, the tags, whatever, and Erank actually is going to keep track of that, which I don't know of any other way to keep track of edits like this. So that's why this is so useful. But then you can see, okay, this is what my SEO used to look like, and this is what it looks like now, and you can track and see if that's going to help your product sell or not. So the more you can utilize these kinds of tools to get you as much insight into why your products are selling, the better. And that concludes this video. I'm feeling really inspired to just keep growing on Etsy, and I hope that my channel can help inspire you as well. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and leave a comment as well. Thanks. See ya.